the station that's on your side. News 12, first at 5, continues.
The feds are trying to get me. Y'all get to see go out like a true soldier tonight.
What a night for local law enforcement. A look at the moments before a hostage situation leads to a shootout with law enforcement in Aiken County. A Facebook Live appearing to show the suspect recording himself as everything unfolded on air last night.
We're told the woman who was trapped in the car with him was in a relationship with the suspect's brother. She, thankfully, is safe and uninjured tonight. Suspect Nate Mead is in the Richmond County Jail. He got shot at least 5 times during the shootout with Aiken County deputies.
So here's a look at where all this happened. The whole thing shut down Jefferson Davis Highway near I-520, the Palmetto Parkway, just outside North Augusta. Our Celeste Springer joins us live outside the Aiken County Sheriff's Office with details on Mead's past as well as what led to those moments last night. Celeste.
Yes, Richard, I met with the representative with the Aiken County Sheriff's Office today to get to the bottom of what exactly led up to that crazy live stream. But taking it back a little bit, we do know, according to records, that Mead has a record dating back to at least 1997. But most recently, he was charged with distributing crack back in December and trafficking meth in February. Those cases are still open. As for last night, the Sheriff's Office says the victim first picked up Mead from Publix. Sometime after, a family member called the Sheriff's Office worried about the victim's safety. The Sheriff's Office then tells us Aiken Public Safety officers were trying to help out as well when they became then aware of the Facebook Live that suspect was taking. In the video, the man police say is Nathan Mead holds the victim at gunpoint as she drove around. Again, in that Facebook Live, he says he thought his loved ones had, in his own words, set him up. The Sheriff's Office tells us they're not aware of any agency that was after him prior to his actions last night.
Was he actually being sought out by law enforcement prior to taking someone hostage?
No. Not that we're aware of. Nothing has been noted. But, our main concern was trying to get that hostage back safe.
And got her back safe, they did. Coming up at 6 o'clock, I'm working on a full story here on News 12, breaking down that full timeline and how they got her back home and that suspect behind bars. Guys?
It's amazing, Celeste, even with shots fired, that all of this ended without him losing his life out there and law enforcement as well. Celeste, thanks for the update there. Let's have a live look outside as we transition to weather.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
We have new details about an hours-long shootout in Aiken County. The moments unfolding on social media live from the suspect's own Facebook page.
And here's a look at that suspect today. 42-year-old Nate Mead just booked in the Webster Detention Center in Richmond County in the last few hours after being treated at AU Health.
We now know deputies shot Mead at least 5 times last night in what started as a hostage situation. He'll now be moved to Aiken County, where he faces a charge for pointing and presenting a firearm at law enforcement and many more charges expected to come.
3 law enforcement agencies were on scene last night. No officers were wounded. Neither was the kidnapping victim.
So we want to bring in News 12 Celeste Springer. She's live from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office with details on how this all started, what led up to this, Celeste.
Well, crazy moments showed on Facebook Live, of that woman allegedly being held captive. But what I set out to do today is figure out what all wasn't shown in that Facebook video that we all saw. We start here. Deputies say the victim came to pick up the suspect, Nathaniel Mead, from this North Augusta Publix.
They had a acquaintance relationship. She was in a relationship with his brother.
Sometime after, deputies say they headed to Winthrop Drive off Whiskey Road. A family member then made a concerned call to 911 around 7:50.
They reported seeing Mr. Mead and our victim. It looked like she was being held against her will.
The Sheriff's Office says the victim and Mead left Winthrop Drive, and they believe he started his Facebook Live sometime after.
Come on! She dies if you're right.
He appears to be holding the victim at gunpoint as she drives around.
All these set me up. All these set me up.
Was he actually being sought out by law enforcement prior to taking someone hostage?
No. Not that we're aware of. Nothing has been noted. But, our main concern was trying to get that hostage back safe.
Fast forward to 9:36, another call to 911. Someone reported seeing a man and woman fighting near this dealership on Jefferson Davis Highway.
Units were already in the area, got there pretty quick.
That takes us to 10:06 p.m. The sheriff's office says Meade fired the first shots at deputies. 4 minutes later, the victim was able to run to safety. For over 3.5 hours, deputies tried to negotiate with Meade. He shot at least 5 times. And despite these words,
Tonight, somebody's gonna die tonight.
deputies, the suspect, and the victim all made it out alive. And it really is incredible how that victim was able to remain calm all the while being held allegedly captive and being forced to drive around town. And as for Meade, he's now been booked into a Richmond County jail. We're now waiting for him to be extradited back to South Carolina.
All right, thanks for that, Celeste. Now, we did look into Meade's past charges, and we found a rap sheet dating back to the late 90s, and you can find that and more details attached to this story online at wrdw.com.
Much more news ahead, but right now, a live look outside as we check out